Welcome to Reality Check with me, Adaeze. Here we discuss reality shows, movies, trending topics, and topics that I find fascinating. And today we are discussing the Real Housewives of Lagos, Season 3, Episode 7. And the drama is getting hotter, okay? All the ladies are beginning to show themselves, cliques are beginning to form, opinions about each other are beginning to come out. I feel like right now we are getting more context to some of the things that we have seen in the previous episodes, okay? But before we get into today's episode, I want us to talk about the drama that ensued on social media between CAROLYN, Dabota, and Diadem this past week, okay? Now, before I even cover the drama per se, I want us to talk about this whole bringing out receipts and coming on social media to blast each other while the show is going on. CAROLYN did this in season 1, and I remember it annoying me a lot because for those of us who are trying to watch this as a reality show, it tends to bring us out of the show when we start seeing drama and some leaked text messages and stuff like that on social media. It almost makes us feel like we have seen the end of the show already, because if I know now that Dabota, CAROLYN, and Diadem are not on good terms based on what's played out on social media, then why do I need to watch the show to see what happens? Like, does that make sense? So I'm going to need the producers to actually caution CAROLYN on this. If she's going to continue on this show in subsequent seasons, she needs to wait till the show ends before she can start coming out with her receipts and bringing the drama to social media. But anyway, let's get into what's really happened. So we remember last episode where, Dabota and Sophia really get into it and them talking about, oh, you hired a boat, oh, I didn't hire a boat, I bought a boat, I own a boat, all those their boats talk up and down, I spent money getting a boat and you guys went and got your own boats, things like that, right? Only for CAROLYN to go online and leak, I think it was in a Instagram group or something, I don't know, I'm not sure what that group is, but it seems like she was in a group chat or group whatever. Anyway, so she went there, she leaked text messages, she talked about how, because of production, because of their cast and their crew, that actually they were ready since morning, they were actually ready early in the morning, but because they had to, logistics basically is why they came late, and that Dabota was not a good host, she wasn't really asking them about how they are doing, she wasn't this, she wasn't that. Basically, from CAROLYN's point of view, what CAROLYN revealed, Dabota was exaggerating the whole thing, right? So she was acting like she didn't understand why they came with their own boat and stuff like that. But according to CAROLYN, they informed her early. There were so many things involved in why they came late. There are so many things involved with the whole production and stuff that Dabota's boats essentially wouldn't have been enough for them to be conveyed to that place, okay? Because each lady was coming with 3 or 4 staff. I was like, is that the life of a celebrity? Count me out, please, because why should I be going to a beach house and I'm coming with glam team? Glam team say wetin happen. Anything people see on my face, collect it like that. But anyway, so according to CAROLYN, each lady came with their own glam team, with their boxes, with their outfits, with even the crew, over 40 persons or in their entourage. I mean crew and everybody, right? Dabota's boats wouldn't have been enough for that. Okay, now to me, I understand what CAROLYN is saying. However, couldn't they have done it that all the ladies would go together and all their cast and crew and entourage and glam team will come afterwards, or come later, or come at the same time with them but on a different boat? Like, to me, there's really no excuse why the ladies came on different boats. I said this thing before and I'm going to say it again, that if I'm going to organize a trip to a particular location, we have to live together from the start, okay? Like the boat cruise or the boat's ride is part of the event, right? However, CAROLYN pointed out that Dabota did not expressly state that they were going to use her boat to go, that she didn't mention it and, stuff like that. So maybe it's just miscommunication, maybe it's just, whatever, it's just a case of he said, she said. However, like I said, this shouldn't have been brought to social media, at least not now, okay? Now, after it came out, Diadem went on her page, on her stories, and talked about how, basically, let me see if I can just read it. So now, Diadem on her stories mentioned that CAROLYN is saying that, oh, she informed them, but that she already knew. And I remember I pointed this out the first time I talked about it, that they made the plans to go with Sophia's boat on the day that CAROLYN invited Sophia. But I don't think, according to what Diadem is saying, I don't think that CAROLYN mentioned it to Diadem until the day that they were supposed to leave. That was why Diadem and Dabota were actually waiting for them at the beach, okay? So yeah, that part, I agree with it. Diadem went off, called her an ancestor, said she's delusional, said she should get her name, get my name out of your mouth, stuff like that. Then she also mentioned, that was Diadem saying, I built my brand alone, not with anyone's last name. You want to reduce me to what I am not, a homie, CEO, founder, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, she went off on CAROLYN, right? Now, the part that many people were like, because people came for Diadem, is that part where she said, I built my brand alone, not with anyone's last name. Diadem, I think you're not informed, okay? CAROLYN built her name on her own name, okay? To me, CAROLYN's brand actually went down after she got married to Danjuma. I have always known CAROLYN as CAROLYN Ekanem. Okay, even these hotchins that she's answering now, I'm like, where did this one come from? CAROLYN has been a force. She had been a brand before she got married to Danjuma. So if it's shade that you're trying to throw at her because, she got married to Danjuma, that is not going to work, because CAROLYN's name was actually built before Danjuma. In fact, the time when she was not even in the media, where people did not even really know much about her anymore, was when she was married to him. And after she has left that marriage, she's now trying to rebuild her name back, okay? In those days, CAROLYN was a known name. And also, be careful how you throw shade, because your friend Dabota is in the same situation, okay? Let's not. It's even worse. Dabota is even worse. Dabota is the one that actually built her name off of her husband's brand or whatever, right? So you are throwing shade at the wrong person. And then we now see a post from Dabota where she's talking about CAROLYN's pattern and old script from my observation. Talking about, you start a friendship, you play Voltron for the friend, you have a small issue, you blow the issue out of proportion, you leak secrets, you recruit enemies, you proceed with theatrics, you go online with receipts, you blame and attack production, you come back with an apology, rinse and repeat, okay? Now, if you have watched this show, you will know that everything that Dabota wrote here doesn't make sense, okay? There is no pattern here if you actually watch this show, okay? That's my own opinion. You can form your own however you want to form it, but that is my own opinion, okay? Everything she said here does not make sense. There is no script when it comes to CAROLYN, because in that one season where we watched her, she was the victim. Okay, she was the one that was being attacked. Yes, she also did the whole, leaking of receipts and stuff, but every other thing you said here doesn't really make sense. Now, I agree with the part where she said that, Dabota, that CAROLYN does Voltron for her friends. That is the same thing that is playing out in this episode I'm going to get into very soon. But this whole write-up, to me, it just didn't make sense. Dabota was actually trying to recruit CAROLYN's enemies, talking about, this is the same thing you did with Tony, Chioma, Iyabo, and Laura Ikeji. Is a lie. There's no correlation. If you check all these people now, CAROLYN's issues with them are different issues, okay? CAROLYN's issues with Tony is different from her issues with Laura, okay? The only people that she had combined issues with was Iyabo and Chioma. And in fact, her issue was with Iyabo, and then Chioma was like, how dare you have issues with Iyabo? That was how they all fell out, okay? So all this whole talk about scripts doesn't make sense. Many people even said that Dabota couldn't have written all of these, that they are sure it was written by Venita. And I kind of agree, okay? I can kind of see Venita's handwriting in this thing, okay? But Venita, because you guys know I like Venita and I know her very well. Well, not personally, but I've watched her a lot. This is Venita's handwriting, okay? But anyway, that is it about the drama. Like I said, the drama might be interesting, but let it air at the end of the show. Don't take us out of the show and then basically tell us the end, okay? It makes the viewing experience quite annoying. Anyway, that aside, let us get into today's episode. Now, the episode starts with Dabota and Diadem meeting at the beach or the sand area to ride quad bikes, and Miriam comes to meet them there. So Dabota and Diadem were talking about their night. They said they slept well, they slept like babies, they enjoyed their night. Miriam came, they asked her how her night was, and she was like, you people stressed me. She didn't expect the back and forth. Dabota says that she's a very passionate person and she really puts her energy into things, and it was just hurtful to see that Sophia was basically shitting on all the things that she did. Dabota, whether you like it or not, you were not a good host, okay? Everybody has said it. We even watched it on the show. How can you be a host? You do not call your guests to know where they are. You do not even call Laura to know whether she's coming or not. They came, you were acting like a diva, you were getting angry, you purposely changed their rooms, and from what the ladies were saying, even the beach house was not convenient, okay? Initially I was like, what's all the fuss about this? But I had to remind myself that these are ladies who are used to certain luxuries, and they expected such luxuries during this trip, and they didn't get it, okay? So the ordinary people like us would be like, just manage. But for people like that who, are basically used to a certain lifestyle, it can be quite uncomfortable leaving your house, coming all the way to this beach house to come and get this kind of treatment. And Dabota, you need to actually realize that you are even spoiling business for that your friend, because right now I am going to make sure I avoid that that bamboo house, okay? If I ever go to Lagos and if I ever want to lodge in a place, I'm going to avoid this your bamboo house, because why is there a view of the trash from anybody's room? Do you guys understand what it means to have the view of trash? Like, maybe because I'm now out of Nigeria, that having to see a pile of trash just near your house or near any place, which is quite common in Nigeria. Now when I'm looking back, I'm like, how were we living like that? How was trash on the streets a normal thing? Why is there a view of trash from somebody's room in your so-called luxury vacation house or whatever, beach house? For me, Dabota, knowing that this is your friend's business that you are trying to, promote, because of course you're trying to promote her friend's business, you should have nicked that thing in the bud, okay? The moment Sophia complained, you should have been apologetic. You should have just, tried to make her feel better. And this thing wouldn't have dragged as much as it dragged. And you saying that you like to pay attention to details, you're very passionate about anything you're involved in, we didn't see that, okay? And again, CAROLYN pointed out something, that she was actually invited through the crew. Her and Sophia and all of them. I think what happened was, I'm just judging based on what I watched. Dabota verbally told CAROLYN that she's planning something for the girls, but when the actual plans were concrete and, sending out the details, it was the crew that informed CAROLYN and stuff, right? Nah, Dabota, it's not looking good. Anyhow we want to slice it, it's not looking good. But anyway, Dabota said that she's over it, she's over the drama, she has said what she wanted to say, and she has just let it go. Then next we see CAROLYN and Sophia going to do yoga. When they are done with the yoga and they are seated, Sophia starts to basically rant, or not really rant, she just tell CAROLYN about what was making her upset, how she was feeling, how she didn't like the way the ladies were basically coming for her. That's Dabota and Diadem. Basically, she was just airing her feelings to CAROLYN, and CAROLYN was just listening, okay? Now, when Sophia was done, CAROLYN took it up and now started ranting her own about Diadem. Me, I was like, at this point, it's giving the thing you are accusing Diadem of, you are pretty much guilty of it, if not even in a worse way, because you are still holding on to the fact that Diadem was giving attitude or something towards you. She was like, why is Diadem mad? Why is she buying matter from her friend? But you are buying matter from Sophia now, because if you check it, I don't know if I'm the only one that is not seeing this thing. If you check it, Sophia is not even as riled up as you are, even though Sophia, when she faced that Dabota, they actually had a good face off, but CAROLYN seems to be more, at least long lasting. She seems to be more riled up about the issue than Sophia, okay? So that thing you're accusing Diadem of, which the criticism is valid, okay? Diadem was doing too much, but you are doing way more, okay, at this point. CAROLYN brought up the fact that Miriam did not back her up, essentially, that basically Miriam had a lot to say about Diadem behind, closed doors, but then in front of Diadem, Miriam started acting like mediator, like referee between Diadem and CAROLYN. Meanwhile, CAROLYN did not have much of an issue. Again, it's the same thing of buying your friend's matter. Miriam came and ranted to CAROLYN about Diadem. Then CAROLYN now carried that energy and was now giving it back to Diadem as if Diadem was the one that offended her the most, right? So basically, that thing, anyway. So she was now saying that she didn't like the fact that Miriam did not back her up. Then Sophia said, I'm not surprised. You know the way Sophia talks. She can be very, you know. So I said, I'm not surprised that at the way Mariam reacted. Like, why are you surprised? And there's a way she smiled that just sounded like shit to me, okay? Almost like, you should know Mariam now. Mariam is two-faced, that kind of thing, right? I wish and I hope that we're going to hear more about this later on. I hope this is not the end of it, okay? Because I don't think Sophia is the kind of person that will want to have issues with Mariam, right? So she might not be the one to bring it up, but I trust CAROLYN to bring it up, okay? Because it doesn't seem like CAROLYN is the kind of person that would let things slide or not bring it up. So I'm hoping that CAROLYN one day will bring it up. Let's hear the tea, okay? Let's hear what is actually going on behind the scenes with this lady. But again, based on pictures that were posted on social media, I think that CAROLYN, Mariam, and Sophia are still good friends, which is why I'm like, you guys don't understand the concept of reality show. Go and learn from Love is Blind. Love is Blind, they don't leak anything except the ones that are leaked by other people. But the cast members don't leak anything until after the show has, in fact, after reunion self is when you start hearing the real truth of things. Sophia even said that Diadem's behavior reminds her of why her and Diadem don't roll in the same circles. I don't know what that means, but it also sounded like shade, okay? It also sounded like, okay, you're not my level, that kind of thing, which I don't know. Anyway, next, the whole experience comes to an end. Diadem left first. Her boyfriend sent a boat to come and pick her. Then Dabota left on her own. Then Mariam, CAROLYN, and Sophia left back on Sophia's boat. And from what they said, they didn't really say goodbye to each other. Everybody just kind of left, which was exhausting. These ladies are exhausting. I'm always going to keep saying that. Now, CAROLYN invited Sophia and Laura baking. She was like, she needed an activity with the girls and she decided to take them baking, okay? I'm surprised she didn't invite everybody, but you know, whatever. So she invited Laura and Sophia, and at the baking they seem to have fun. They baked red velvet cakes and stuff. Laura is now asking them about what happened at the beach house. Apparently Laura had called Mariam to ask Mariam about it, but you know, Mariam did not really give her any gist, so she's now asking, you know, CAROLYN and Sophia what happened at the beach house. She's spilling. CAROLYN started spilling. Oh, your room was downstairs, your room was small, your room was this, it's good that you did not come, blah 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 blah. Laura was then like, why did Dabota do that? Like, why doesn't she like me? Then CAROLYN proceeds to say, I know I might sound like a gossip now, but I went to see her in her house and she said she doesn't like you or your sister. And I'm just like, CAROLYN, this is why at the end of the day you will still be in the wrong and they will still come for you. Because why are you bringing up with the same Laura who you just 2 minutes after you started becoming friends again, you are spilling another person's secrets? They're like, nobody asked you. Let Laura figure it out herself, or let Dabota tell Laura herself. Why? What was the reason for that? Okay, so that part really shocked me. I was like, why are you spilling the gist of what happened when you went to Dabota's house? To me, Dabota and CAROLYN have more in common than CAROLYN and Laura, okay? And if anybody were to have anybody's back, I was expecting CAROLYN to have Dabota's back as against Laura's back, right? Because we also how these things played out in season 1. Now, even though Laura and CAROLYN seem to be chummy now, but it's just 5 minutes. You guys have been close. Let's stop jumping the gun, okay? CAROLYN also goes on to talk about her visit to Dabota. I remember that visit where she said, Dabota was not a good host. She did not eat from what she served me. CAROLYN then went on to give us more context to why she was upset. Now, apparently, when CAROLYN invited Dabota to come and see her, Dabota said, she sprained her ankle, and then CAROLYN decided to go and visit Dabota instead, only for her to get there and Dabota was with a full face of makeup, well dressed, and didn't look like much was wrong with her. And also, CAROLYN now saw Adaeze. Adaeze is Dabota's friend, and Adaeze seems to be CAROLYN's mortal enemy. I think they are both in the same line. I think I know this Adaeze of a person. It's not the lady that opened one very magnificent white house, even though the house is not my style. I mean, maybe I'm just a hater. It's all these houses that have molding everywhere. Good. is a more touch version of Igwe kind of house, right? Or Nabros kind of house. So anyway, I think that's the lady. She's an interior designer. So apparently she's like CAROLYN's mortal enemy because her and CAROLYN are in the same line of business. And then when CAROLYN got a particular contract, Adaeze was like, why did they give that contract to CAROLYN? Like, basically, like, why CAROLYN, right? And then another day, a prominent person organized an event or a party or a birthday party, I can't remember, and CAROLYN attended, and also he's again said, why was CAROLYN invited? Who invited CAROLYN? Now, this is the surface of the gist, okay? I feel like there is still a lot more behind the scenes, or a lot more context to her beef with this his girl, because I want to know who told CAROLYN what the girl said, because obviously the girl did not come and say to CAROLYN's face. So who told CAROLYN that this he said this in two different occasions, and why? Okay, to whom was it said, when was it said, and why? I need all this gist. You guys, if you're looking for gist to spill, this is kind of gist you should be spilling, not spilling about the show per se, but this is kind of gist I want to be spilling. So CAROLYN, if you're watching this video, come out and give us more context, okay? Or he seems like she seems fiery, okay? I need he to come out and give us the full gist, because that's what we want to be hearing. So this gives us more context as to why CAROLYN was really uncomfortable, because if you watch that episode, you will see that CAROLYN's body language was not really all that when she was with Dabota in Dabota's house. CAROLYN was a bit closed off, right? I remember noticing it then, but I just felt like, oh well, maybe because of the conversation they were having, right? Then also, even the food thing, she said that his was in the kitchen when Dabota was preparing the meal, or when the meal was being prepared, only for the meal to be served, and Dabota refused to eat from it, and only CAROLYN was eating from it. First of all, CAROLYN, why did you not eat from it? If you were suspicious of the food, why were you eating from it, knowing that your enemy is in the kitchen where the food is being prepared, right? Anyway, so I'm sure she didn't think like she was being poisoned or anything, but it's more about the energy, you know, that kind of thing. You know, people who are very suspicious of everybody and who are so conscious of all this energy, spirituality, you know, demonic wanting juju, people that are very conscious of such things, they tend to be hyper vigilant when they are with other people, okay? So where a normal person will just see food and eat, some people that are like that will just be looking at, okay, where did the food come from? Who brought the food? Why is she not eating? Why did she eat only that and she didn't eat this one? Why did she, you know, things like that. So anyway, that gives us more context as to why CAROLYN was upset that Dabota did not eat the food. Because I remember mentioning it. Yeah, I remember I mentioned it then, that it came out of kind of came out of nowhere. CAROLYN mentioning that Dabota did not eat out of the food that she served her, okay? Then afterwards, we see Dabota go to visit this his lady. They have been friends for 14 years. According to Dabota, that's her sister. They've been friends for years. And I loved their rapport, okay? I loved the way they were talking. Dabota left her accent in the car. She left her demure accent in the car, and she was speaking pidgin, and she was talking with her he's like a normal person. I was like, hey, I love to see this part, okay? I could tell that they are really good friends from the way they were interacting, okay? So Dabota was telling Adaeze about the whole event and all of that. She kind of twisted things a bit and said, oh, Sophia was just complaining, talking about her boat, her this and that. Dabota was saying that she has a friend who just bought a boat and used about 200 million to clear it. I was like, a boat's that expensive? I would have thought that the whole boat and everything would be like 50 million or something. So if you're using 200 million to clear boats, are you talking about boat or ship? Because you guys should let me know in the comment section, like, are boats that expensive? I had no idea. So basically she was saying that she doesn't know when Sophia got her own boat, though, because look at how much it costs to get a boat in Nigeria. So basically she feels like Sophia is not as rich as she said. Even in her confessional, she said it, and I said that in my own I said it last video as well, that real money, they are not loud. They're not condescending. They don't remind you that they have money, okay? According to what Dabota said, you know, that phrase of real money is silent, but coins are loud, right? Yeah, so I'm not saying that Sophia does not have what she has. I'm not saying that she's poor or she's fronting for social media. I'm not saying that, but it is giving new money. It is giving, I didn't know I was going to become this rich, or I just got this rich and I need to let you guys know. I need you guys to know that I just got this rich, okay? Anyway, he was not telling Dabota that I know you said something. Let me know, what did you say? And Dabota was like, no, I didn't really say much. And he said, I know you. I know. She knows her friend. Anyway, the next thing we see Sophia go to meet her uncle, Dele, Momodu in his new house. He's always advising her, he's always guiding her, and he's like her diary. She talks about everybody with him. So when she goes to meet him, he's also using style to tell us about what he's up to with his business and yada yada yada. And then Sophia is telling him about how therapy is going. Apparently she's in therapy, it's going well. He's advising her to just be cautious, to be careful of how she presents herself or represents herself, because she's not just representing herself, she's representing the family as well. And Sophia is like, yes. Even in her confessional, she was saying that it's pretty tough for her because she's like the black sheep of the family. She's supposed to be the pastor's daughter, she's supposed to be this, but she has a child out of wedlock, you know, and all of that. Anyway, I kind of understand Sophia Sha, because it's not easy being a black sheep. Sometimes black sheeps, to be honest, make names for themselves. In many families, it's the black sheeps that make names for themselves, whether good or bad. You know, it comes with some positives. However, it's not easy being a black sheep. So, you know, I feel bad for her. Not like I can relate anyway. It's not like I beg. She said that her store was going to be opening in like 2 weeks, and that she wants to take all the ladies to Ghana. So she wants her uncle to help her, you know, call his contacts at Airpeace and help her with the whole, you know, planning and stuff. Okay, and her uncle is like, yeah, that he has lived in Ghana for how many years. He's going to, anything she needs, he's going to get it for her, give her premium treatment and all of that. Okay, which is good though. Wahala for who no get uncle where they call, where they call. Wahala for who no get that kind of uncle where they call, say, uncle, help me with this one. You know, it's such a privilege. Like, if you don't have it, or if you have it, you don't know what you have. Trust me. Laura invited the ladies to have lunch with her. She said she wants to formally apologize to basically the ladies, but mostly to Dabota for not attending the event. CAROLYN arrives first, and then CAROLYN and Laura are really kicking and laughing and praising each other. I'm like clutching my imaginary pearls. I'm like, hey, I don't know how I feel about this. So I don't know how I feel about this. Where is all this chumminess coming from? They call Miriam on the phone. That's CAROLYN and Laura. They call Miriam on the phone. That's what they had a conversation about. Oh, you didn't tell me about my room. Miriam is kind of removing herself from the whole situation, and she's saying, Laura, don't enter the drama. Like, you stay out of it. Okay, it seems this season Miriam wants to light matches and just run away. Okay, she wants to throw stones and hide her hand. She wants to instigate and then be unscathed. She'll just be behind the scenes, just watching it burn. Okay, Miriam, that's not a good place to be in. If you're not careful, it is going to come back and bite you in the ass. I hope it does for the sake of our entertainment, but on a serious note, that behavior, that's ratish behavior. Okay, CAROLYN is then saying that, oh, she actually likes Diadem, but she feels like Diadem is deeply insecure, that beyond all that glow and all the packaging, that she's very insecure, and that she wishes that Diadem can stand on her own and not be attached to anybody, that Diadem would do better if she can stand on her own. Now, I have very conflicting opinions about what CAROLYN said. Okay, because I kind of get it where they are saying that Diadem should stand on her own. I kind of get it. However, I feel that they are projecting too much. Okay, you guys are projecting on Diadem too much. Yes, she took the matters, you know, she carried the matter on her head, which she shouldn't have. I agree, right? However, that's her friend. Dabota is her friend. I remember Miriam saying this in the beginning, oh, school wonder, school daughter. I'm like, why? What are you people trying to see? You guys are forcing your ideas on Diadem's situation. If you remove yourself from the situation, if you remove the whole Iyabo Chioma drama from the situation, I don't think that is what is playing out between Diadem and Dabota. I don't know. You guys, let me know in the comment section if I'm the only one seeing it differently. I don't see Diadem as somebody who is in Dabota's shadows. Yes, she can, you know, want to fight for her friend and she can be forward, but it is on a mere friendship basis. It's not because, oh, I'm talking up to you, I see you, like, you're just like the way Chioma was. It's not, I don't think it's not giving what Chioma was giving to Iyabo, right? It's not giving that, in my own opinion. So I think they are projecting, saying, oh, she's insecure and all of that. I don't know where it's coming from. Again, this show, so many things they say, you won't know where it's coming from until maybe subsequent seasons, subsequent episodes. Yeah, I don't see it that way, because in instances where Diadem had issues with people, she aired her opinion, strongly. She did not try to say it behind this. In fact, it's better that they should be saying has a inferiority complex or whatever. She didn't start saying it behind the scenes and then coming out to act differently. Like, she aired her opinion, right? So anyway, it's kind of tricky, but I think they are projecting too much. It's not giving Tanya, it's not giving Chioma. Diadem is just being Diadem on this show, right? Yes, I agree that Diadem might not be so upfront about some of her feelings. At this point, she's saying that the reason why she was frowning at the bonfire was because she had other personal things going on, that she wasn't frowning at them. It is now because for me, I saw what I saw. We all saw what we saw. Even the ladies there saw what they saw. So she's not really denying frowning, but she's saying that she's not frowning at them. But I remember in her confessional, she said that she's not just happy because the group has been fractured. They're now, they came separately and stuff like that. So, which is it? Are you lying or are you like, I don't know. Anyway, Dabota also arrives. She is wearing a jumpsuit, and in her confessionals, in CAROLYN's confessionals, CAROLYN is saying that she thought Dabota was coming there to do some plumbing work or some electrician work because of the overalls she wore. She was like, it looks like overalls that, Dabota did not put in much effort into her looks. I understand that though. I understand it, right? Dabota actually looked very simple, very dressed down. Okay, even though her makeup she was really, really glam. She had a very glam makeup look, but her outfit was very dressed down, at least compared to the other ladies. But to me, Dabota looked normal, like she looks like the most appropriately dressed person there. The other ones, I say, where una they go? No be this lunch when they come chop. For this restaurant when they come chop. Where una they go? Why are you having veil? This one, train, Abdul, what is the name? Jury. Like, come on. But I get it, Sha. For the show, it's part of their aesthetics to be over the top with their outfits. It's almost like Young, Famous, and African as well. Some of their outfits, I'm like, are you going for brunch? Abi, are you going for to go and collect awards? Anyway, so that Dabota comes in. Also, the greeting is cold between Dabota and CAROLYN. Then after a while, Sophia arrives wearing this cutout dress. She looked good, but to me, it's a bit trashy. She came in and she greeted the ladies. She was warm with, CAROLYN, and CAROLYN likes her a lot as well. So when CAROLYN likes you, she's like over the top, like the love is too much. When she doesn't like you, she's like, She doesn't act like she hates you, but she's like, So she was like, oh, my queen. They're not calling themselves my queen, just hyping each other, with Laura and all of that. So when Sophia sat down, there was clear awkwardness. It was giving awkward. Like, it was so awkward to witness. So Laura now asked Dabota if Dabota missed her, and Dabota straight up said, no, my dear, I did not miss you. I love that energy. See, Dabota, I love that energy. No fakery, no forming, no trying to tell you what you want to hear, no trying to reduce the awkwardness. Add to the awkwardness. Make it more awkward for everybody. Make it uncomfortable for everybody. I love that energy. Dabota was like, no, my dear, I did not miss you. Like, in fact, I was even happy. One less person to cater to. Then Laura trying to stir some drama. I'm sure it was prompted, behind the scenes. Laura was like, oh, I would like you guys to say what you think about everybody. CAROLYN proceeds to tell Diadem about the whole frowning stuff, basically addressing the issue again, that she felt unhappy that they went that far, because to her it was like, I apologized to you several times, I explained to you several times, so why were you giving it attitude that normally you should have been, oh, why not come late now, and everybody just laugh about it and move on, right? But Diola now said that she's insisting that she was not having an attitude towards CAROLYN, or Sophia, that she had her own thing she was dealing with. Then CAROLYN goes ahead to tell Dabota about the whole visitation thing, the not eating thing, how she doesn't like her heels. Basically laid it all out. Again, I like this part too, okay? Even though I feel like CAROLYN did too much in the other part, but I like the fact that everything she said behind the scenes, she said it to Dabota's face with Jara Sef. With Jara, I love that. Maintain the same energy. And Dabota was shocked. I could tell that Dabota did not expect it, at least not from CAROLYN, okay? It took Dabota aback when CAROLYN was saying what she was saying. And in her confession, as Dabota said, it seems like she's looking at CAROLYN's evil twin sister, and that is giving chemical imbalance in the brain, you know. Basically, it's trying to say that CAROLYN has mental health issues or whatever, because where did all that come from? And I understand Dabota's shock, because again, like I said, CAROLYN should have addressed it with Dabota directly. I don't know why she was bringing it up in with other people when she hadn't addressed it with Dabota. Dabota goes ahead to explain that, oh, Adaeze is my sister, like she's my friend, we've been friends for 14 years. I did not know that you guys had issues. And I was like, Dabota. Because I remember that even in Adaeze's house, when Dabota brought up CAROLYN, there was a way the reaction was. I'll look for that clip and insert it. When Dabota brought up CAROLYN, there's a way Adaeze reacted. So you can't tell me that you did not know that there's an issue between Adaeze and CAROLYN, especially because of how personal CAROLYN is taking this issue. You know, I don't think that Dabota does not know about it. Maybe she just doesn't know the extent to which they have issues, right? Maybe. Because some of these friendships, even though they say, oh, we've been close for how many years, it doesn't mean that they're in each other's business 24/7. I mean, they're both grown women, they both have other things they're doing, and they both have other friends they focus on as well. So maybe I can buy that she doesn't understand the extent to which CAROLYN and Adaeze have issues. But saying that you have no idea whatsoever, I find that hard to believe, okay? She also explained that Adaeze was in her house because she sprained her ankle. She didn't even know whether she sprained her ankle or not, but because she fell from, you know, a few flights of stairs, Adaeze came to see her to know how she's doing, and CAROLYN came there as well. She tried to explain the whole thing as an innocent occurrence. However, knowing how women can be, I find it hard to just believe the story is that straightforward. I find it hard to believe. Anyway, Dabota says thank you to CAROLYN for bringing it up with her instead of carrying the grudge. CAROLYN says thank you to the both of them for explaining themselves instead of getting angry. They all held hands and did kumbaya, kumbaya, oh. CAROLYN said she even felt like crying, and in my mind I was like, again, especially because of what we've seen on social media, that whole part to me was like, why are you deceiving yourselves? You guys clearly do not like each other, so, or at least the love for each other is already winning. So yeah. Anyway, that is it for episode 7 of the Real Housewives of Lagos. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do you agree with my thoughts or do you disagree with my thoughts? Let me know your own thoughts in the comment section. See you guys in my next video. Bye guys.